How do you do, everybody? Ash here, and as you can see from the title, I guess it's going to be a series, maybe, occasional, I don't know. But, I say occasional, it's more likely that it is going to be every week, because it looks as if E3 is going to be 4 months long, in terms of what we're getting, in terms of content. So it might as well become, we do the weekly wrap-up in wrestling, so I might as well recover some of the big stuff in gaming. Starting with the not E3 schedules, that quite a lot of which came out this week. So your tentative timetable, if you want to get your calendars up, be it on your devices or physical calendar. So the big day is going to be, by the looks of it, Saturday. What would have been the Saturday before E3, I think. So first there'll be a conference from the Guerrilla Collective at 1 PM Eastern on Saturday, June 6th. This comprises of 11-Bit Studios, who do the Frostpunk games, Coffee Stain Studios, who did Satisfactory, Larian Studios, behind Baldur's Gate 3 and a bunch of other games as well, Raw Fury, Rebellion, Versus Evil from the Banner Saga. But yeah, basically it'll be a bunch of sort of independent companies getting together to sort of showcase their stuff on a bigger stage. Then Paradox Games will be having a broadcast at 2:30 that same Saturday. The big thing, arguably, with them would be Crusader Kings 3 and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Possibly also Empire Sin as well, we might consider a big one, but for me, Crusader Kings 3 and Bloodlines 2 are sort of the big ones. Then at 3 PM Eastern, so, that second one ain't going to be too long, unless they do overlap, but I'd have thought unlikely. The PC Gaming Show broadcast will be happening. Obviously, there's no word yet on what's going to be part of that, but given we're only a few weeks away, if you keep an eye on your gaming places, you'll be able to see. So that's at 3 Eastern time. And then the quote-unquote future game show, which seems to be in cooperation with Games Radar, which is Future Publishing, who also obviously do the PC Gamer show, because it's the PC Gaming Show. So maybe it just says the write-up that they have is exclusive trailers, announcements, and deep dives on existing AAA and indie games, focusing on current and next-gen consoles, mobile, and streaming platforms. So I guess it's ongoing games and new content to show for them, maybe. There is going to be a Cyberpunk 2077 video on Thursday, June the 12th. No time set yet, but there will be sort of a stream presentation thing that day. Also, and I wouldn't be surprised because of the time if the Cyberpunk one came after this. Oh no, before it, sorry, because it's going to be really late. EA Play at 7 Eastern. On Thursday, June 12th. So midnight for UK people, so we've got to stay up sort of like traditional, I guess. They'll be showcasing their stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more details on Apex Legends stuff, the Command & Conquer remaster that's due to come out towards the end of the year. And then apparently there is a Medal of Honor VR thing. So whether that will be PC or PlayStation VR or mobile, I don't know. So that's coming. And then Saturday, July the 11th, will be TennoCon, which is the Warframe convention thing. So a lot of people are wondering whether there was a recent confirmation that Warframe will be going to Xbox Series X and PS5, whether they'll sort of introduce that into sort of how the game will run and look on next gen. And then Ubisoft's conference, which would have been obviously during E3, they're going to be having 3 PM Eastern on Sunday, July the 12th. So, of course, the big things there, Assassin's Creed Valhalla that got showcased last week, Watch Dogs Legion. Hopefully we actually get a release date on that, rather than, because it was supposed to be out like months ago, and then of course it got delayed anyway, even before lockdown happened. So it'll be interesting to see. No word on Nintendo yet for anything. They did sort of do that teaser this week for Paper Mario the Origami King, which is a nice little surprise. Good to see that back. But we do know there's going to be some sort of presentation from Microsoft and Sony regarding the new Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles soon, because as it stands, those consoles are still coming out in time for the holiday. And people are going to want to know about them. They aren't just going to go in blind. They might. They're probably idiot if they do that, but we'll see. So in terms of the other stuff, I should probably start from Monday, if I can find it. So I'm scrolling through the list of content and everything from... yeah, Tokyo Game Show got cancelled. I'm going through chronologically, so it actually makes sense. I'll leave that. I'll leave that one because that's sort of ties into other stuff. Thimbleweed Park, the game from Ron Gilbert, guy behind Monkey Island and all those classic sort of games. Obviously, Thimbleweed Park came out a few years ago, and pretty well received. Definitely in the same vein. I've been playing it recently, and it certainly is that sort of fun. I do like the options to have sort of in-jokes for the old style of Monkey, old sort of dibs at LucasArts and other sorts of stuff, and other sort of adventure-style games from the genre. Gilbert basically wrote in a blog post that to cope with everything that's going on, he basically built Delore as a Thimbleweed Park mini-adventure, which is available for free on Steam and also for free on the Epic Game Store. I need to check if I've claimed that properly on yeah, I have. Just checking on my Epic account. That got added in there. Haven't played it yet because I sort of want to play through Thimbleweed Park first to be able to get that sort of out the way. But the implication seems to be basically that this sort of sets a seed of interest for maybe there could be a Thimbleweed Park 2. Or something relating to the characters at least, which hey, I approve of. I'll be interested in that for sure. Arnold Schwarzenegger coming to Predator Hunting Grounds with his actual voice and everything. That might be enough to get some people interested in the game, because the reviews weren't entirely kind. It was very sort of average to meh. Marvel's Iron Man VR is coming out in July, specifically July the 3rd. So that will actually now be coming out. Sort of very similar to, I think that was supposed to be the month before Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima was supposed to be coming out. And of course, both got delayed. The Last of Us 1 eventually came out with The Last of Us 1 that somehow somebody hacked into the old code. Somehow they obtained it. Which is how we got all the leaks from that and everything. It wasn't somebody unhappy about the status of the company. Too much was being read into it. So it was sort of annoying here. Ruined. Because Tony Hawk, this was the start of the Summer Games Fest. Jeff there seems to be sort of videos roughly every week regarding stuff. He started sending texts to certain people saying, you know, I've got a surprise. We're bringing back the games. It's going to be announced soon. And then on Tony Hawk's birthday, which was the day that they made the announcement, on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Right before the actual video came out, there was a post from Tony Hawk, like 5 minutes too early, because it was at 4:54 when the announcement was at 5 my time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming September the 4th, 2020. The big deal for me, you know, the engine looked, to me the engine sort of looked, when I first looked at it, very Tony Hawk's 5 in graphics, which I was a little bit worried about. But the big thing is that's come out both through sort of the interview afterwards and whatever, and subsequent stuff. Vicarious Visions are working on it. They're the guys behind the Insane Trilogy remaster of Crash Bandicoot 1 through 3, or the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy remaster, and then also the Crash Team Racing Refueled, or whatever it was, remaster that came out last year. They're behind this. Some of the people are also key in terms of, you know, some of the people actually worked on the original Neversoft games back 20 years ago, so some of them are still in there. It looks as if pretty much all the skaters from 1 and 2 are involved. Most of the music, I think the official list got released today, Friday. It's 18 of what would have been 26 tracks that are in the game. Oh, sorry, 18 of the 26 tracks that were in the original 1 and 2 are being carried over. Some of them, the one of them that arguably is the most in my head, also, you know, because it got mentioned, I'd have to look through the list myself. Anthrax and Public Enemy's remix thing of Bring the Noise. That won't be part of it, which is a shame, but certainly the remasters as well look good as well. It doesn't look... I've seen some videos comparing the footage that we got in these trailers to, like, not the original Tony Hawk, but the HD release that came out, like, nearly 10 years ago. And that looks very cookie-cutter-esque. Whereas the new designs of the classic levels look much more authentic. But yes, it's coming out PS4, Xbox One, and PC via the Epic Games Store. Those that pre-order, which I am tempted to, which I very rarely do, but I guess it's just hitting that nostalgia button. Those that pre-order will get a demo early of the warehouse level, very akin to the original release of Tony Hawk's 1. The demos were either of the Chicago level or the warehouse level, depending which PlayStation demo discs you got. And then the collector's edition comes with a full-scale Birdhouse 2 board for doing, well, I guess you could actually turn it into a sort of an actual rig and everything. An interesting one, the Culling, that game that came out, what was it, 3 years ago? Yeah, must have been 2017. Big Battle Royale game. PUBG happened and everything. That sort of, it was decently received, but then of course it sort of, people lost interest when sort of PUBG became, well, probably did it better. So then of course Outrushes Culling 2, and it's really not that good, and within days it goes to less than 10 active players, so maps are just useless. And within weeks of that, if not a week, Culling 2 got shut down, and it sort of went dead for a while on any Culling news. All of a sudden it's back, except, and there's a lot of videos about this on there, so I'm only sort of touching on it. It's back is, I can't remember what name they're giving it. It's got some weird name. The Culling Origins. There we go. So it's coming to, it's on Xbox One now. I don't know if it's coming to PC or not, but it's weird. So it's sort of free to play, but not, because new players will have to pay $5 for a 1-day trial period. But if they want to continue, they have to use match tokens to play. Otherwise, they can only play the game once a day. You can earn tokens by winning matches. However, there's also microtransactions, starting at like $1 for 3 tokens up to 20 tokens for $5. Also, there's a unlimited access option of like $2 for 30 days or $6 for 30 days. With the loot crates from the free-to-play app iteration getting ditched. So yeah, we live in a society where in 2020, not only is a subscription model being pushed as a good thing, which I do wonder, I still wonder how World of Warcraft can still have the subscription model in this day and age. I guess because it's so grandfathered in, people are okay with it. But you barely see it now at all, bar a few games. But having it sort of as a pay-per-play basis, that's the thing that's sort of irking a lot of people and is interesting. It's I'm interested to see what happens with it. Not in a positive way and not in a negative way. Both. So the other thing that came out from Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, the showcase of Unreal Engine 5 for a specially made sort of game-like demo running on PlayStation 5. Graphically, it looked incredible. The sound was right, and that's the sort of big thing that a lot of people have been pushing. People have been pushing graphics to the limit, but the sound hasn't been getting right. But apparently, the engine is sort of tweaked to that. They were talking about sort of triangles and whatever, like the detail of like things like a shot of a cave has got like a few million triangles. Some are the size of a pixel, some are sort of more obvious because it's supposed to look like a flatter surface sort of thing. But the detail looked really good. I know a lot of people are unhappy because it's like, but when you say showcase, it seems like, something to do with games, just because other E3 events have been listed as showcases. The Fallout or the Bethesda showcase or the, Ubisoft showcase, things like that. So maybe just the wording need to be tweaked on that, but that aside, UE5 looks really good. I'm intrigued to see what comes out of that in 2021. The big thing, though, at the same time, roughly around then, the Mafia trilogy. Mafia 3 is getting some sort of enhancement sort of stuff. Mafia 2, the big thing for that sort of eked out, at least according to the Microsoft listings for Xbox One at least, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, so sort of an enhanced version of Mafia 2, remaster if you will, that'll be coming next week. But then the big one, I would argue, is the more interesting one, where it all started. Mafia 1, admittedly, it's not going to be a remaster, because, it was a PC game that got ported over to the PS2 and Xbox. It wasn't built from the ground up, really, as console sort of stuff. So, Mafia 1 is getting a remake. The screenshots of said characters in the game look really good. Hangar 13 are behind the remake of Mafia 1. Of course, they were the guys behind Mafia 3, not behind Mafia 2, because obviously I think it was 2K Czech that was behind Mafia 2, which now doesn't exist. Which sort of, I think some of the people from there went to Hangar 13. So it's some of the core staff, but not entirely from that are sort of covering 2 to 3. But yeah, so the Mafia 1 remake's in August. I'm guessing that's when the sort of trilogy will get released. But of course, if you want to sort of get the upper hand, if you will, or if you're itching to play some games, certainly on your Xbox, we haven't had a huge amount of announcements from stuff from them over recent weeks. Obviously, what with the Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and Iron Man VR stuff coming to PlayStation consoles over the next 5-6 weeks. That's something there for you to consider, I would argue. Then the big deal, Epic Game Store crashed because it couldn't cope with the demand that, yes, you can get GTA 5 Premium Edition, so it includes the Shark card and whatever, free on the Epic Game Store, which has also launched their big summer sale. If you claim GTA 5 for free, you automatically get a $10 or £10 or whatever your currency is voucher off anything on the store. As long as it's over, I think it's $15, £14 is the threshold in the UK. I'm guessing it might be it'll be 14 or 15 euros. I'm not sure. You'll have to check on your if you have an Epic Games Store account, you have to check on there to sort of get it. There's a bunch of games on there which are on sale, which you'll be able to sort of get reduced further, if you will. Admittedly, not all of them. Some of the games that I would recommend are full price, but obviously, you know, with a $10 off coupon, maybe it's worth considering. You know, Control is 50% off on there right now. Borderlands 3 is 50% off. 20% off Red Dead Redemption 2. Just having a look at some of the other stuff. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you'll be able to use your voucher on by the looks of it. Then of course you can also use it, I think, on pre-orders. So that would include your Cyberpunk. One that I didn't even realise coming out next Friday. Saints Row the Third Remastered, which is interesting, and Tony Hawk. I'm very tempted about the Tony Hawk one, certainly. But also Journey to the Savage Planet, I think, will just qualify for your voucher, so you can get that at a super ridiculous deal, if you choose to, of course. Metro Exodus, you can probably get that for in or around $10 now. That's probably just the base edition, not the one that has all the DLC. So I'm just having a quick look through. I don't want to look at stuff by release date. Oh, interesting. They randomly added Witcher 3 in the last couple of days. Is that a hint that that's going to be there? Ancestors of the Humankind, the game from Patrice Désilets, the guy behind the original Assassin's Creed games. That's there. Apparently he wants people to play it because they didn't play it. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. I'm just looking through some of the other games that would be included if you want to get some ridiculously good deals. There's a lot of games as well, you know, that are, you know, Alan Wake and Alan Wake's American Nightmare are sort of pretty cheap. Alan Wake 1 for sure, that's 90% off. So you can get a big bargain there. Having a quick look. Quite a lot of the Quantic Dream stuff, so Beyond Two Souls, and what was the other one? Detroit, I think. I should have a look. I shouldn't really say stuff. I just need to look through the list here. Control, which I obviously talked about previously. Death Stranding, even though it won't be out till July, you might be able to get that off. So yeah, Detroit Become Human. It's full price, but you'll be able to get a third off, I would say, roughly, with the coupon that you get for free by claiming GTA 5. Far Cry New Dawn, by the looks of it. Far Cry 5 is just a little too cheap to be included in that, but Far Cry New Dawn is. I don't know why I'm recommending that, because that really wasn't that good a game. Sadly, because there's a 40% off deal, I cannot recommend Ghostbusters the video game remastered, because you can't use your voucher on that. If it wasn't part of the sale, you could have done. That's annoying. That's such a good deal, I might actually pick that up myself. Who knows? It's weird how we've become so more accepting of Epic Game Stores now, somehow. Or most of us, maybe, I don't know. Hades from Supergiant, that is within your threshold. Heavy Rain, sort of previously mentioned that. Inside from Playdead. Journey. Not to be confused with Journey to the Savage Planet, which I think should trigger with a voucher, so you can get that for in or around $5-6, which is, to be fair, ridiculously cheap and probably screwing people. Just have a quick look through Mutant Year Zero, which I've heard good things about. Off-World Trading Company. There's plenty of other games in there that I'm not mentioning that you will be able to sort of get as well. Some on sale, some not on sale, but they're there for you to check out. Evo is going online. The big thing, obviously, they ditched Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like they were going to have, because you can't really do that online. The big thing, though, that's come out, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was going to be their sort of one of their flagpole ones, is gone because the online netcode for the Switch for Ultimate is that bad. They don't want to deal with it. So instead, they're sort of pushing more towards not just the games that they were going to feature. Which I forget the full list. If I get I need to get the video and whatever. So yeah. So the other games are Granblue Fantasy Versus, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Samurai Showdown, Soul Calibur 6, and Under Night In-Birth, EXE, Late, CLR. But the video that they put out does say that there's just going to be online sort of public tournaments, open online tournaments as well. The 4 games being Killer Instinct, so that's sort of back and getting some recognition. Also, Them's Fighting Herds, the Not My Little Pony game. Even though it sort of is. Skullgirl Second Encore as well. And the final one that's going to be there as part of the stuff. They did announce the other game. I can't remember what it was exactly. Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath will be sort of featured there, which obviously it was going to be a side tournament that was going to happen the event, but because everything's online now, sort of instead of being sort of 8 or 9 big events, take out the 2, which is 7, there's 11 that are going to be happening over the course of I think it's 5 weekends in July, 4 through 5th, all the way through to, let me go to my calendar on my thing, so 4 through 5th, 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th, 25th, 26th, and then I think maybe the finals are going to, I should have looked at the date on the trailer, because I'm an idiot. Press play, because the dates are literally on the trailer. I can find them. There we go. Yeah, July 31st to August 2nd, so that last weekend will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a traditional Evo would be. Little side bit, 2K21, 2K's first golf game, will be coming out August 21st. With Justin Thomas on the front cover. So if there's a curse, like it was with Madden or quite a lot of other games, Justin Thomas is not winning anything. But it'll be interesting to see how they do in the Golf Simulator genre. Dance Dance Revolution 5's come out, except it's only played in browser. Great job, Konami. Great job. Because of course it is. Oh, something else that you should pick up this weekend if you can. The educational tours of ancient Egypt and ancient Greece that use the engine and game from Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are free to claim on PC right now. Not that my PC can run it, because when I tried to do the free trial of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I couldn't do anything. Thanks, guys. but I still claim to my account. So when I get a computer that can run it, it'll be interesting to see that. More of like the historical sense rather than weird ass gameplay. There was a 18-minute video sort of thing for Ghost of Tsushima, which looks really good. The nice little touch as well, a black and white samurai cinema mode. So if you want it to look like an Akira Kurosawa game, you can. Which I approve of. Because of course I do. And then a little interesting bit that came out today, Friday. I love the fact that this is going to be a brief video and it's going at least half an hour. So, a lot of people were confused about why Nemesis can infect zombies with parasites, which is, you know, a feature that wasn't in the original one 20 years ago. The big thing is they want it to tie into the Ganado and being infected with the Las Plagas or Plagas parasite from Resident Evil 4. So it's already so that's sort of already dropping the hint that we might be getting a Resi 4 remaster remake thing. If they are remaking Resi 4, whew, if they screw that up, it might be a case of, yeah, be careful what you wish for. With Resi 2 and 3, it's easier because obviously you're talking sort of graphics that weren't that good at the time. You know, late 90s sort of thing. Resi 4 was, I think, 2006? Maybe 2007? Let me get the release date. I should know off the top of my head. Oh wow, January 2005 for the GameCube. That's probably what I'm getting it confused with. Yeah, so it was early January 2005 on GameCube, late 2005 for PlayStation 2. PC and Wii got it in 07. And then of course all the various ports and whatever. Considering how well that was received and how it's sort of passable to be, well, the fact that it's, you know, on PS4 and Xbox One in a sort of enhanced graphics, you know, HD version, it's a little bit interesting. So we'll see. But there you go. Whole lot of gaming stuff. Because of course there is. If I get to my video. There'll be more stuff coming, I think, next week. I should probably go to Summer Game Fest. To their schedule section. Because I think there's pretty much stuff every week. Maybe. Oh, apparently there isn't. They've given up. There was just those random videos last week. Okay. Then again, it could just get dropped in whenever. The only other things listed on there are the Steam Game Festival with some free demos, which will be from June 9th. And then the Gamescom event, August 24th, which will be apparently still happening, even though it's going to be obviously... Oh, I see, it's the finale, so... They're making a big thing about Gamescom, even though I don't think Gamescom's happening. At least in a physical form. It may be, I don't know. I don't know how the lockdown is affecting things in Germany. Properly. Because I'm not in that country. Anyway. So, there might be another one of these next week, depending what little tweaks of info come through. If there's anything to do with the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, certainly you'll be seeing that before we get to at least the weeks of the Cyberpunk and the EA Play stuff in June. So, as we tick the 40-minute mark, I better leave it there for you guys. Quick discussion of the news. Give your thoughts on it in the comments and whatever, on any of the stuff that I covered, with a few of my insights and whatever as well. I'll be back with something very soon. It could be a snack stash. It could be talking like this. It could actually be playing games and you seeing them. You never know. You've also got Owen Sip and Snack, AJ's movie reviews and verses, and Stephen King short story retrospective stuff. Awards coverage, which I guess is coming in August. Hopefully some films might have come out by then to make it an interesting list, rather than literally stuff that came out like just digitally. We'll see, I guess. So yeah, all that here. Subscribe, bell, like things that YouTube wants you to say to get more interactivity. All that stuff. I'll see you on the next video, everybody. Have a good day wherever you are. Stay safe and all that.